welcome to our meeting this afternoon. Council, two members that are unable to be with us today. I welcome you here, and I have the pleasure of introducing to the public, I guess our new CAO, Kevin Williams. Welcome to the corporation. We're pleased to have you as part of our team, leading our team. Thank you very much. And welcome. Thank you. We will enjoy this moment. Never forget this moment. Not all of our agendas are 230 pages. Yeah. So I ask anyone with a pecuniary conflict of interest to declare it now or at the time comes up.
Check register.
Anything else? So ordered. And seeing none other, a couple of housekeeping things. There's so many people here. The sound is always an issue in our chambers here, so we ask that any of the visiting that's going on during the meeting, please take that outside. It doesn't distract. And I would ask that you respect the symbol of the rail. That is the public section, and this is the council section for this meeting. So, and the washrooms are out towards the ice surface and to the right. Item 3.1, 3 o'clock, Lindsay Hayes to give us a PowerPoint presentation on Fred Whiting's mapping. So I would ask Lindsay to give us that presentation now. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Councilors. My name is Lindsay Hayes, and I've been a summer GIS mapping student in the Community Services Department. And today I'm just going to discuss my work over the summer dealing with Phragmites and some other projects that I've been working on, as well as I'm going to share my background today. So, my educational background, I started at the University of Western Ontario. I did a 4-year Bachelor of Arts degree with a major in geography and a minor in environment and culture. I then moved on to Santa College, and I just received my co-op endorsed diploma for GIS and urban planning. Some areas of interest through my education include natural science and human geography. I'm experienced with mapping using aerial photography, GPS units, and I can do spatial analysis. I'm also familiar with urban and rural planning, including design, efficient plan, zoning, and land uses. I'm familiar with subdivision design and have experience in graphic design. So some projects I've worked on in the past through my education and experience. Last summer I went to the Royal Botanical Gardens in Hamilton, and they have 5 gardens there, and one of the most prized gardens is the Lincoln Garden. And every few years they have to dig out the bulbs for the peony and iris collections, and that allows for an opportunity for a new garden design. And since I was the only one in the office experienced using AutoCAD, they gave me the free reins to design a new garden. And just after I left in the fall, we began the excavation and reno. And in the bottom left corner, that's the new design. Sorry. That is the new design currently at the garden. This is a project I worked on in school. It was a $6 million project for Boulder Mountain, which is a ski hill in London, Ontario. And it shows the progression of the West Hill between the years of 2004 and 2009. And they used 1.3 million cubic meters of earth to go onto that hill. Another project I had experience with in school was determining wind turbine placement. This project was in the County of Malahide. The areas that are light pink show the determining areas where the turbines are able to be placed with the restrictions and setbacks. This is a project I worked on for a charrette, which is a time-intensive project, group project at school. We had 1 week to redevelop a major intersection in London, Ontario, and one of my jobs was taking care of the mapping elements, and I did some census analysis. And so this shows the before, the intersection of Wonderland and Oxford, and this shows after the development. I've increased the population by 65,000 people, which allowed for there to be a new transit hub going in there. And one of our large projects at school, we had about 6 months to participate in a subdivision design. We got to go out, and this site is at Colonel Talbot in Southdale in London, Ontario, and we were all able to do our own subdivision design, from looking at the site to seeing opportunities and constraints, and going forward with the 2D design of the subdivision. And later on, we were able to design a 3D version of the subdivision. So this would be my ideal new corner for the corner of Colonel Talbot in Southdale. And these are just some other views that I've created. So on to the main topic for today, which is fragmites within Lantern Shores. So some concerns with fragmites are they create a loss of recreational space, both privately and publicly. There's tourism impacts. There's a decreased property value, especially along the shoreline. It creates loss of habitat for native plant and animal species. It has an increased fire hazard and changes in hydrology. And this is just an example. It's kind of a poor quality photo, but it was a really good example of before with the fragmites present and after it's been taken care of. As you can see, there should be a wetland there where there previously wasn't. So some previously identified issues that I've been trying to take care of this summer were that mapping was a mess and there was a duplication of tasks which was inefficient. So with the mapping, I, so far this summer, have checked all municipal rights of way. I've checked all the municipally owned property in Ward 4 and all the municipally owned drains in Ward 4. Also, most of the county rights of way have been checked, and also sections of the ABCA property have been checked. Some things that I've documented along the way are the location of the fragmites, the types of locations such as ditches, river, beach, the date and the person checking, the height of the new and old road, and the density. And this just shows an example of one area that I've been mapping. This is in Forest, at the corner of Park Lane and George Street near the high school. And this is the section of the Forest Walkway Trail. And there's a very large, tall section of fragmites there. And you can just see that I went there on June 4th, and it's a trail location. Its area is 250 meters squared, and the dead shoots are approximately 4 meters tall. So dealing with the duplication of tasks, I've arranged that each property owner is responsible for their own mapping areas. So we're responsible for municipal property, the county is responsible for their property, and the ABCA takes care of their property. So it resulted in cooperation of all 3 organizations and corporations. We've been sharing data, and it allows us to create one big picture for fragmites within Lantern Shores. So the results of my mapping this summer and the shared data between the county and ABCA are that I've identified 428 known areas of fragmites within Lantern Shores municipality, and this totals approximately 2.5 kilometers squared, or 629 acres. And this is a map showing the areas of fragmites. The red areas are where it is present. So you can see it's mostly along the shoreline and the rights of way. And the final totals, as you can see, it's mostly along the beach. Out of the 2.5 kilometers that I've identified, or sorry, 2.5 kilometers square I've identified, 2 of it is at the beach. Secondly is the river. Third, the ditches. Then the ponds and drains. And then the trails, and lastly the lagoon.